We are ready to roll. So we're so excited to be on with you tonight for Tips from the Top. And we're really excited for three really awesome people who had amazing, amazing months last month. And we're going to congratulate them both individually and collectively, but then we're going to pick their brain a little bit. And so I'm really excited to have Liz Lundy, Julie, Neel, and Melanie Golding on tonight. And so I was trying to figure out who gets to go first and who gets to go last. So let's see. Liz, we're going to start with you, just because actually you're right in front of me, so that makes that easy. So I just unmuted you. Hey, Liz, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on your promotion last month to Triple Diamond. That's
I know. Thank you.
It seems like just yesterday we were in, where were you? Tennessee? Is that where we were? Nashville?
Yep.
You were a diamond, I think, right?
No, I was a ruby in Nashville.
Wow. A ruby in Nashville. It literally feels like it was yesterday that we were talking, and here you are, Triple Diamond. I mean, what an accomplishment. And we're so, so proud of you. And we'll just get right into it. And, I was just trying to think of how I could ask questions a little bit different than I normally do for Tips from the Top. And so I'm going to ask you this, Liz. I'm just going to ask you what life was like before it works and what life has been in the last, I don't know, 3 years maybe? I don't know how long you've been in exactly.
It will be 3 years in September.
Hey, I was close.
pretty close.
And what's life like now, just hitting, you're so close to the very tip top of the company. You're like less than the 1% that hits this rank of Triple Diamond. And so just share with us a little bit about what life is like now versus what it was and what the process has been like.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I know I've shared with, of course, my team and stuff, but I was in a really bad relationship all of my 20s, really heavily abusive relationship. By the grace of God, I was able to get out of that, and I was 29 at the time, and I moved back in with my mom. I moved to Alabama. I left my house. I left my car. I left my job, left everything, and basically I lived on my mom's farm. I hid out for a year. I was a broken person. I had no self-worth at all. And then I stayed with her for about a year. And then it was time to spread my wings again, basically. So instead of going back to Atlanta, I decided to come north to Nashville. So in the process of me moving in with my mom, I deleted my Facebook, didn't have communication with anybody. I was literally trying to rebuild my life. When I moved to Nashville, I had been here for a couple months, and I had started back up my Facebook, and I had just got a part-time job at a gym. Didn't have anything to my name. Was living on a family's farm, cleaning houses on their farm, to pay my way. And Melanie found me on Facebook. To this day, I don't know how it happened. I have no idea. I literally had 40 friends on Facebook at the time. Don't even know how she crept into it. And she kept telling me about, this opportunity to work from home. I had never heard of direct sales, didn't know anything about it, nothing. She kept in my inbox for 3 or 4 weeks. And then I had just started part-time at a gym, and I used that first paycheck to buy a $99 kit and start the business. And my goal was just to be able to pay my phone and buy groceries. That was it. That was my main goal. So it took me 5 months to go Ruby. And then I sat at Ruby for a really long time. To me, it was a long time. And then I saw y'all came to Nashville. And because initially my goal was just to make an extra couple $100s a month. And then that's what I hit. So I'd never looked beyond that or further outside of that. And then I got to an event, my very first event, we all went out that night in Nashville to a place, we went out to eat and stuff. And it was the first time I met different people with the company, and Story and Amanda and Sherry and Stacy and Marsha, and seeing these people, they were all diamonds and above. I was the lowest rank. I'm oh my gosh, all these people are making a great income from their phone. Like, why not me? So I started to dream bigger. Like, seriously, I dream bigger because of y'all. Like, I went emerald a couple months later. Then 4 months later, I think I went diamond 4 months later. And then I sat diamond for a while. And that's like, I basically was comfortable because at that time I was a GM at my job at the gym. So I was making money there, and then I was making diamond money. And so I was comfortable there. But then again, I started to dream bigger, and I wanted to leave my job. So I gave myself a deadline. I said it to myself in October. I was like, you're comfortable again. You know, you're sitting at a rank again. I told myself that by March this year, I was going to leave my job. So what I did is I started saving all my diamond checks. I started putting them in a savings. So I was living off of my gym income and then saving everything for my diet. Like, no matter what, I was going to burn the boats. So as soon as I went to conference, I came back. I put in my notice at the gym. I gave them 6 weeks. I had enough in savings to pay. I'm not telling everybody to go quit their jobs, but I had enough in savings to cover me for enough time so that if I needed to go back to work, I could. But everything I kept reading and every time I kept praying about it, there was something on my heart that said, you'll never know until you give it your all. If you don't go all in, you're not going to know what can come from this. So I literally left everything. I promoted to double, got Matthew to diamond in February. I got charted for triple in March. I got Matthew to double in April. And then I went triple last month, and we've gotten $65,000 in bonuses in the last 3 months.
I mean, that's insane. Like, I wish you could see on video, like I have chills like all over, because you know what? I remember kind of, you know, sitting down with you at dinner, and you were just trying to kind of figure it out. And so the Liz I'm talking to today is not the Liz that I knew when you were a Ruby. Like, I mean, the Liz that I see in the confidence and, you know, the energy and the enthusiasm. I mean, it's unbelievable to see. And I think, you know, I just want to point out a couple things that you said for everyone is that, like, yeah, Liz, like, completely she had a plan. She, you know, she saved up, she quit her job. Like, we're not telling you to quit your job, but what we are saying and what I think we can pull is you need to work this business as if you were quitting your job and see what will happen. You know, like, I just think there's power in, she set a deadline. Like Sherry talks about it all the time. Our top leaders talk about it all the time. You set a deadline, and then you, like she said, you burn the ship, you burn the boat. There's no turning back. You're going to do it. You're going to go. And that's why you're here. And so Liz, tell me this. So, you know, let's just talk about Ruby to Diamond first, and then we'll talk about this last month. But, you know, what did you start doing differently from Ruby to Diamond? Like, ever since we sat down and we had dinner, like, what were some of the action steps you took for maybe someone on here who's just, you know, making that first push to Diamond, which is a life-changing, you know, rank in the company? What were some of the things that you did?
It's definitely, I was more consistent. It wasn't like just, because when I was Ruby, I didn't really, you know, I had a couple distributors under me. I was okay. But then when I was looking to where I wanted to go Diamond, I definitely like did my daily non-negotiables. I really dug into self-development. Like the last year and a half, I tell my team all the time, I am such a self-development junkie. Like, I read all the time. I'm always listening to stuff, because this business is 80% mindset. So when you set out like, okay, and you believe in yourself, like, I can go Diamond. And when I saw other people that I related to, like, if they can do it, I can do it. And once I set that goal in my mind, like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me from hitting that goal. Like, I might take longer than other people, but that's okay. And like, the comparison bug was creeping in. Like, I would see other people that joined after me promoting quicker than me, and then me questioning myself, like, what's wrong with me? So there's a lot of times that will always that's just the devil. I actually did a live on my team page today about that. Like, that's always the devil trying to pull you back, trying to get into your head. So if you can just put that aside and keep pushing forward to your goals, it doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you get there, because everybody else's story is their story. It's not your story. So don't ever compare yourself to thinking that you're not, like, it's taking too long or that you're not worthy of it, because you absolutely are. If there's anybody else that's done it, then you can too.
That's so good. I think something you said is so key. It's actually something that I was listening to an audiobook on the way in, and he was basically talking about like the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And, you know, there was something that the Lord, I think, was just speaking to me that's confirming what you said, is that, you know, run your race. Like your race is your race, and there's going to be people on the left of you and there's going to be people on the right of you, and they're going to be in their lane. But you have one job: to stay in your lane and run your race. And you'll never get to the finish line if you're looking at the people to the left and the right of you. What you're going to actually do is you're going to get out of your lane and you're going to be disqualified for the victory. And I think that you've done such an amazing job at that. You've stayed focused on being the best version of yourself that you can be. And we're just seeing, you know, literally your consistency, like it's all just coming to fruition the way that it happens when you stay consistent, you stay on fire, and you stay close to the fire. And that's what you've done. And I'll ask you this. This last month was, I'm assuming, the best month you've ever had in your almost 3 years of this business. And, you know, did you do anything differently? Did you, you know, what, you know, people are going to ask you, like they ask us all the time, like, what's the secret sauce to get into that promotion to the end of the month? And, you know, just talk to us about the last, you know, 30, I guess we should say 34 days, as to, you know, what was your mentality starting the month, going into the month, and everything in between.
I started the month the same way I finished it. There was not an off day. My house was a wreck. The laundry wasn't done. I was forgetting to eat. It was the most emotional month. But from the beginning of the month, I said, like Melanie, we got on a call. She said, I'm going presidential. And I said, I'm going triple diamond. And we showed, like, anything that I was doing, my regular non-negotiables, I did it ×4. I literally woke up, came in my office, cut on my self-development, worship music, sermons all day long. Like, I was not present in anything else because I had my vision. I knew, like, that I was going to go all in this month and give it my all. And that if I didn't promote by the end of the month, then I could still look back and say, I still gave it my all. Like, my team showed up. Like, I remember on the 25th, the whole month I had my volume right in front of me, like on my board in my office. If Melanie reached out to me, said, where are you at? How much volume you need? I could tell her down to the exact amount. Like, I need this much. Like, if I say I went to the grocery store and signed a customer, before I even get back to my charts, like, I already knew where that volume was going. Like, that's how well I knew my charts. I stayed in touch with my team. They're amazing. Like, I have amazing relationships with my team, which I think is so important for everyone. You can't do it on your own. Like, and once you start pouring into other people and helping others, then you're going to be rewarded for that. Your business is going to change. It can't be all about you or you focused on you and where you're going. You have to turn around and help others and where they're going, and then things will help, like, change for you as well. Down to the 25th of the month, I remember, like, I did my charts and I had my exact volume, and all those stuff ran on the 25th.
Uh-oh, did we lose Liz? We'll give her a second. We'll give her one more second, Liz. I don't know what happened. You were so killing it too. I know, Billy. I'm with you. You said, dang, that was getting good. No joke. We're going to let her finish. I'm sure she'll hop off and hop back on. So I'll look for her name and see if she comes back. So while we're waiting on her, let's go over to, yeah, she just hopped off, I think. So while we're waiting, let's go over to Julie. And if someone sees Liz before I can find Julie, let me know. But Julie, you should be unmuted. Okay, awesome. Julie, welcome to Tips from the top. I almost said, show me the money, but that was.
It's that too, right?
You're right. Exactly. I guess it's the same thing. But first and foremost, congratulations on your huge promotion last month, triple diamond, and what an amazing accomplishment. And anyone who knows you knows that you're just an amazing person. We love you and your husband so much. You're so just an asset to this team. And we'll just jump right in like we did with Liz. What was life like before it works? What has life been like the last couple years? And, what's life like now that you're triple diamond and, you're at the tip top of a company, less than 1% that hits this rank, and just share with us a little bit.
Yeah. So before it works, I moved to Dallas for grad school. I was going to occupational therapy school. I met my husband here in Dallas. I was working full time. And so met him here in Dallas. We got married. I've been married for about 2 months. When we met John and Sherry. Well, my husband and John worked together, actually, for those of y'all who don't know. And we went out to dinner with them one night. I met Sherry. And I think that night I ended up ordering some products. She kind of told me about the products over dinner. She shared some fat fighters with me after a big Mexican meal. And I was like, yeah, I'm all about that. I ordered some products from her. I think I started following her on social media. And even to this day, I'm not sure what exactly made me take that first jump. I think I've always just kind of had this underlying feeling like I was made for more. I was made for something big. And kind of when I saw what John and Sherry were doing, I was like, man, that's big. I want to be a part of that. So I jumped in with them, and my journey since then. So up until a year and a half in the business, I continued to work full time until I went diamond. So I was Ruby for about a year. I went to conference. I went emerald the next month after conference, and then diamond 2 months later. I was diamond for about a year, and then I went to conference. I went double the month after, and then 2 months later went triple. So now, we've gotten over $55,000 in bonuses. With our bonuses, we're planning on taking a big vacation this summer. So it's allowing me and Bert to travel more, really enjoying this time. It's like newlyweds, we've got a lot of things we want to do. We want to save for our first home. We want to pay off all our debt. We've got just big dreams for our future. So we're trying to get ourselves set up right. And this, income is helping us do that as well.
No, that's awesome. Two things, two back to back with Liz and with you. I think the thing that some of you need to probably hear is that Liz was at an event and caught the vision. And then Julie goes to an event and catches the vision. And, maybe you can't go to an event, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that if you stay close to the fire, you can't help but get better. And literally, I think that those things are so key as you go through this business. If you work a corporate job, how often do you have to do training? How often do you have to travel to go learn something new? Or how often do you have meetings there at your place? Why do they do that? It's to get you fired back up, to make sure you're where you need to be. And I think that that's one cool similarity between, both Liz and Julie, is that they were either close to the fire, that they were an event, caught the vision, and shortly thereafter, something great happened. And, I just kind of want to go into, a lot of people, kind of their why does become their excuse. And they're like, well, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. You literally, progressed in this business while working full time. Eventually it allowed you to go part-time, but speak to that a little bit. How did you balance? I don't know if that's a word, but how did you work a full-time job as an occupational therapist and grow your business at the same time? Because I think a lot of us have the tendency to want to use that as an excuse rather than an opportunity And so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think the first step when thinking about that is like, it's because my why was strong enough. So I had a why, and that's always kind of been ultimately so I can stay at home with our future children. When we want to have a family one day, that's something that I've always wanted to do. And this was going to be my avenue to do that. So I had a strong why. So I had a reason to fit this into my day. And then, so after that, I mean, I fit this into every day. So I would wake up, 15 minutes early, 30 minutes early, send out messages in the morning, maybe get a post up. I would take a few minutes on my lunch break and I would, follow up, or I would add people to my network. Then when I got off work, I would do a little more in the afternoon. So it's not always like I had this set amount of time I could sit down and like work my business for a couple hours. But like Monday through Friday, I just fit it in the day before, at lunch, and after work. That's how I fit it in. And so, yeah, this business doesn't have to take up hours and hours of your day. But if you can get those core 4 things in each day, you can still progress in this business.
Yeah, no, I think that's so good. You hear of it all the time, like, different individuals, they're like, I don't know how to do both. I don't know how to do both. And the fact is, in this business, at first, it is a little bit hard. It is hard to figure it out. I mean, the learning curve is always big with any new job or business. And I think sometimes what we forget, if that's you on, this Zoom, is I think we forget we're starting a business. Like I think some of us maybe get in and we're like, well, I'll see how it goes. But the ones that are really successful in this business, they treat it as that. Like I always think about if I were to go and open a cake shop, like what would it take if I'm working my current job, but I was also wanting to open a cake shop? Guess what? There's going to be a little bit of time of figuring it out. And I think that was what I really admired about your work ethic and how you did it, is that, yes, you literally were starting a business while working a full-time job, but you made it work. And I think if there's one thing that our whole team can learn from someone like you, is that it is possible. It is possible to figure it out. It is possible, but you're so right. You have to want it more than just being at that job for the rest of your life. You have to want it. You have to really want that freedom, and freedom always comes with a price. And just to see what you've done over time has been absolutely amazing. And, I guess going into this last month, did you do anything different? Was it the same thing every day? What did this last month look like? Because, I mean, Triple Diamond is a big deal. Like, I think, our team's very fortunate to see a lot of promotions, but as we post them every week, the first week of every month, like you'll see a ton of rubies, a good amount of, emeralds, a good amount of diamonds. And then after that, those names start getting smaller and smaller. And I think there was 3 or 4 last month that went Triple Diamond. What did you do different last month? How was last month for you?
Yeah, so I think it started with, I think going triple didn't even just start with this month, like the beginning of May, I think it started probably 2 months prior. So almost like 90 days before that, I kind of started to develop this vision, because I think as soon as I went double, I was like, phew, like, that was tough. Like, I'm just going to take a little breather. And then I don't even think I believed it myself that I could go triple so soon until like Sherry spoke it into me. She was like, you can go triple. Like, you can do this. And I was like, what? I can? Like, I didn't believe her at first. She had to tell me a few times before I really believed her. So I think it kind of started, even a couple months back, saying, I'm going to start pushing for this. I'm going to start working my hardest, not in just these past 30 days, but almost a couple months leading up to it. So it's not like I did everything in 1 month. So I think that's important for people to remember too. Like, when you're going for a promotion, like, realize, like, yes, it can happen this month. It totally can. But there's also a lot of power in like pushing for, the 90-day push, and doing a couple months leading up to it to kind of get that momentum going too. So I think So it was that, getting the belief was kind of number one. And then just working really closely with my team. I heard this quote, to start acting like a travel agent or a tour guide and not a travel agent. So meaning not like you're not a travel agent in terms of telling people you go here and you do this and you do this, but being a tour guide as in I'm sending them a screenshot of this conversation of a customer I just signed and I'm giving it to them saying, here, this is what worked for me. I'm sending them the post that got comments on it and saying, here, this is what worked for me. So I'm like handing them the things that are working. So I think I became a better leader in that I was sharing exactly what was working for me with my team. I started doing host to post like crazy. I've really never done host to post to that extent. I had just kind of dabbled in it a little bit. I had never committed to it. So that helped a ton with customers. I talked about this a little bit at the last training, but upselling. So just letting people know they're going to get their best results from using more than one product was huge for me. I think I was always in this mentality, like scarcity mentality almost of like, oh, probably all they can afford, is the Thermofite X. So that's just what I'm going to assume they can afford, even if I know they can get better results from the triple threat, So really like telling people, no, like this is what's going to get your best results. And I truly recommend you doing this. So not being afraid, I think Pam said it, but like not assuming other people have the same broke mentality that you do. So like assuming that they don't have the money or something. So just that was like getting over that barrier in my mind, offering everyone triple threat big packages has been huge. And then, yeah, just setting a daily minimum for myself too. Like I set a daily minimum and I knew my usual minimum wasn't going to cut it. So I upped everything. I usually send out maybe 30 messages a day. I was sending out 50 a day. I was usually adding, 50 people to my Facebook friends list. I'm adding 100. So taking those daily minimums and pretty much for those 90 days, just like upping them.
No, I think that's so good. I love what you said about, being a travel agent versus a tour guide, because me and Sherry talk about this all the time because it still blows us away kind of. If you look at the top leaders of the company, especially like the top 10 income earners, like their teams are so much bigger in number than Diamond Empire, but we're always there. And I think it's because of that very thing right there. It's that, there are mass enrollers in our organization, and that's amazing. But I think where you really see a healthy business is when you truly start holding every one of your runners, every one of your people who wants their life to change. Like when you hold their hand and you stop kind of saying, yeah, you need to do this and you need to do that. But you literally hold their hand and you say, here's your chart. You're 412 BV away from your next promotion. Let's make it happen. I think like and Liz said this a little bit earlier, is that she knew exactly where volume needed to go. And, just eavesdropping with Sherry, you did the exact same thing, that you work all the way up to promotion, but your charts you aren't guessing your charts. Like, exactly what you need day in and day out, whose hands that you need to hold day in and day out. And I think that's really powerful what you said about truly being the tour guide, going on the journey along with your team, not just kind of pushing them off into, on a cruise ship and saying, good luck. I think that if there's one thing that anyone could take from this team, this Zoom, is it doesn't matter if you have one person on your team or 10,000 on your team. If you truly want to have a solid business, you got to start holding people's hands. The fact is, when they're new, they don't know how to chart. You have to teach them. The fact is, they don't even know what a loyal customer is. Guess what? You have to teach them. Like, let's start holding hands, especially if you're going for a promotion. You know who your babies are. You know who those key people are. And you have got to start truly being, their tour guide, like Julie said. So amazing, Julie. Congratulations. I'm going to come back to Liz. I'm going to come back to you here in a second. But I'll ask you a little bit stuff each one of you can close this out here in a second. So thank you, Julie. I will be right back to you. And then I am going to find Melanie. I think I found you. Let's see. Are you here?
Hey,
There you are. Hey girl,
Can you-
how are you?
good. Can you hear me? We're at a vacation house, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have good reception. It's storming outside.
Great. You sound great. You look great. You look like a Madam President right now. And that's
Oh,
Hey, congratulations on Presidential Diamond. When I saw that post go up, I almost cried, but I got it together because, I've watched your journey and your team's journey, and I'm just so stinking proud of everything that you've accomplished. You have done it the way you wanted to do it, the way you wanted to lead it, the culture you wanted to build, and I couldn't be more happy for you, and you should be stinking proud of what you've accomplished. I know how humble you are. You're going to give so much credit to your team, and you can do that. But I want to celebrate you just for a moment because I've seen your dedication day in, day out. You show up, positive attitude, and I'm just so proud of you. And so congratulations on Presidential Diamond. It's so amazing to see. And you're going to go ambassador, and I just know it, so it's going to be awesome. But tell us about, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Tell us about life before it works, what life's been during the process, and, what's life going to be like on the 15th, actually, let's say the 8th of this month when prelims come out, and you're probably going to do some ugly crying because me and Sherry still do that even to this day. So share with us a little bit about before it works and during and what life's like right now.
okay. Well, thank you so much. Yes, I'm gonna brag on my team because it was them, it was not me. But so when I joined this business, I was a nurse. I was working like 12, 16-hour days. I never saw my family. And if y'all follow me, my niece and nephew are my life. They're like half my children. So I saw a friend on Facebook post about a Ruby bonus, and it was like $500. And I watched her for like 2 weeks, stalked her nonstop. And I was like, well, what is she doing? I reached out to her. I literally told her, I will watch you if you make money. I'll join you. Well, I signed up. $99, guys. I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Don't say, like, you don't have $99. You're going to find those people. You tell them to make it happen. I paid my cell phone bill late. I'm single. I own a house. I was super broke. Nobody knew it because I was a nurse. I went to my first event, and Sherry Lynn was a triple. When y'all handed me that iPad, I think it was the iPad, do you remember? So literally, I went to my first event, and Sherry Lynn and Stacy had the diamond necklace on, and that was it. I was like, what is that? Everyone has that diamond necklace. I knew I wanted to be diamond. So it took off from there. I went diamond in 5 months, double in 6 months. I saw what I had my hands on, guys. I plugged into everything. Like, stay on tips from the top. Y'all are going to have bad days. Stay on tips from the top, plug in. So here we are. Fast forward. It took me 2 years to go double to triple. I didn't believe in myself. Liz changed my life, like completely changed my life. Taught me how to self-develop. Every single morning we did it. Before we messaged each other, self-development. Okay, so it took me triple a whole year to get to Prez. And that was because of me. That wasn't because my team, guys. I didn't believe in me. Like, I was doing self-development. I wasn't doing the work as a leader, like, at all. My team was putting in work, but I wasn't leading because it was me. You can't lead a team if you're not growing personally. So, yeah.
No, that's so amazing. And I do remember in Midland, right? Was when that went down.
Yep.
I think that just watching you grow as a leader has been absolutely phenomenal. At first, it was kind of like I could see you, like, and this happens with so many, and it's probably one of the coolest parts of this business. Everyone jumps in and starts and like, oh, I want to be diamond, and diamond truly is life changing. Like, that's where I was like, Sherry, you better buy me an It Works shirt. Like, you just paid the mortgage, whatever, like. But I think that to watch what this business can do, not just financially, because that's, you know, I really feel like that's just the byproduct of, you know, the fun part of this business is the paycheck. But I've watched you go, you know, grow from this person who wanted to be a part to now you took ownership of who you were as an individual, and now you take ownership of your team. And at conference, you know, I told everyone this, like, it has to be your team at some point. Like it can't be Melanie, it can't be Julie, it can't be Liz. You know, people sign with you because they believe in you. And as cool as it was for me and Sherry to be, you know, the first to take the leap, like that's cool and all, but like if we want to get each individual where they need to go, they need to have one of your experiences where you're like, you know what, I've got the team, now it's on me. It's on me to grow as a leader. It's on me to, you know, to be more consistent, to just self-develop and all those things. And so I want to ask you this. So what did you do? You know, even let's try to go back, even not just so recent, but what did you do from, you know, Ruby to Emerald to Diamond? Like, how did you, you know, who did you reach out to? What did that look like for someone who's, you know, newer and not as, you know, deep as we are in this thing? What would you tell them just getting started and getting their feet wet?
Okay, so because I work 12, 16-hour days, I literally had to work everything on social media. When I did go double diamond, I was able to take a day off on the weekends, and I threw wrap party after wrap party after wrap party. I don't do it anymore. I'm strictly social media because I spend so much time with my team. But I'm going to back up a little bit. So when I became double diamond, I was still working as a nurse. I tripled my nurse pay, injured my back at work. And that was life-changing for me. I was on workman's comp. They kicked me off. I needed back surgery. My plan B turned into my plan A, guys. Like, if you don't have a vision, it's not going to happen for you. Wake up, guys. Like, look at your chart. Look what number you need. Why do you need it? So I injured my back at work, and thank God when they kicked me off, I was still getting double diamond pay. And when I went triple, I literally, same thing, I was working social media. I couldn't get out. I couldn't drive. I could barely sit for 5 minutes. I remember John asking me to come to a diamond retreat, and I couldn't go, guys. I couldn't go. Fast forward a little bit more. I have endometriosis, and I had to have surgery. Guys, I don't have insurance. It works paid cash for my surgery. Like cash, over $16,000 of medical bills. So, I mean, I don't know. This is completely changed my life, and it's not just me. I do it for my family. We're here in San Antonio, and we rented a vacation rental, and my niece and nephew have what we never had growing up. Like, my mom, I was able to buy my mom a car. I paid off multiple credit card student loans this month with that Prez. I'm scared. I'm looking at my e-suite every day, like, is this real, John? Like, I can't even believe it. But paying off my last student loans, I can't even believe it. And hopefully my mom's car next month. So I mean, it's truly life-changing.
It's truly what it's all about. Like, it's one thing when it's about you, but if you could truly understand and catch the vision that it's so much bigger than us. And we try to teach that, and we try to train that. And, you know, if you're newer on this and you're like, what in the world? Like, is this real? Is this really happening? Man, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, you know, you could say, oh, well, it just happened for John and Sherry. Like, now you can't say that. Multiple ambassadors, multiple presidentials. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, most of the presidentials on our team and the ambassadors, like, their bonuses are, like, blowing ours out of the water at this point. So, you know, it can happen. But, I mean, you hear the passion, you hear the energy, and this can become a plan A if you want it to be. Now, not everyone's in it for that. Like, some people, they're like, you know what? I just need that 500. I just need that 1,000. And this business can be that for you. So really, whatever you want it to be, it can be. It's just, you know, how much commitment do you want to put in? But I love what you said, Melanie, because, you know, you've been with us a while. And so you can probably attest to this. Like, I don't think that our entire team understands the resources that they have that we didn't have 3-4 years ago. Like we literally, when me and Sherry were starting, you know, we kind of were on this other team page, and, you know, we were like, you know what, we need our own culture. We need our own feel. And like everything we have, like, we're not saying be on everything, but if you don't know what to do, if you don't know where to go, I love what you said, like, be on Tips from the Top. You know, we have Facebook parties going on. We have power hours. We never had power hours, like not even 2 years ago, you know, that you could be on and literally get step-by-step instructions on how to even do, you know, a host a post, or how to even reach out or message. So all the resources are there. You just have to make a commitment. What do you want to be a part of? And so I love that you said that. And so tell me about this last month. You know, I love what Julie said, because I think so many times we look at it as 31 days and we have to get there. But the fact is, we've been planting seeds for 12 months leading up to this 31 days. But we all know that last month, it ramps up a little bit. And so what did last month look like for you, and what you were doing each day, and, you know, how you approached it every morning that you woke up?
Okay, so like Liz said, we knew down to the very last volume from day one. Day one, guys. I am so hard on my team, and I do it for a reason, because I want them to win. It's not about me anymore. I want them to win. So we do our charts the first 2 days of the week. They're done. If they're not done, I'm not talking to you. I'm not replying to you until you have your chart done. I'm hard, John. It sounds really ugly, but I do it for them. They need to be leaders. You know, they want to go double. They want to go diamond. Like, that's a leadership position, guys. You're training your teams now. So have your charts done. We had our charts done. I'm going to back up like Julie said. So last month, 2 months ago, is really when it started settling in. And we were doing power hours. Every week we would do a couple. We hooked up our team last month, and we did them at least 4 to 5 times a week, guys, 4 to 5 times a week. So power hours, every morning we wake up with encouraging words in our group chat. Every morning we start with self-development. Every morning I start the team with a task. And it's okay if they're at work. They're going to do it when they have time. They're going to do it when they're on a lunch break, or on a 15-minute break, or whatever. During the day, I'm giving my team posts. My leaders are now doing it. They're coming in and they're shooting stories out for everyone to post, because they saw us doing it. Truly is teamwork. On the 25th of the month, I wrote this down today. Don't look at the paper, guys. It's like vacation home journal. The 25th of the month came around, and I was freaking out. I was like, this is not happening. But guess what? My team didn't know that. My team didn't know I was scared. Like, Liz didn't know I was scared. Liz was freaking out. So get on your knees and pray 1,000,000 times, and it's going to happen. But on the 26th, I didn't write down the 25th. On the 26th of the month, guys, 14,814 group volume is what we needed. So stepped it up. More power hours. More hustling with your team. Get to know their whys, guys. This is not just this last month. I am so connected with my team. Like, get to know their whys. Why do they want this? So they quit posting for 2 days. Go get on them. They want to change their life, right? Like, get to know them, connect with them, love on them, praise on them. Sidelight sisters, like, you guys, I love you to death. On the last day of the month, I'm going to cry, because here we go about my team. On the last day of the month, it was like, well, we did the thermometer. Have you seen it in the VIP? The thermometer. So we started it on the 10th, and we broke down the volume, grew it every day. The last day of the month, everyone was like, press check, where are we at? Like, every hour, guys, every hour. My team fought so freaking hard to go press, guys, because they know I'm changing their lives now. It's not just me. Like, they're changing their lives. They're coming to me on the prelims on the 8th, and they're like, I can't believe I get to pay my house payment. I get to go take my kids for ice cream. Like, I'm paying my car payment. I'm putting extra groceries in the house. Guys, it's not about us. what can we do for them? Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I hate this, John.
No, I mean, that's the greatest part of this business is that when you get to where you're at, triple, prez, ambassador, you know, I can't even remember who said it now, but the why just gets bigger, and then the why just gets bigger, and then the why changes and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it's awesome to see you get to experience this and your team's getting to experience this. And so, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal what we've seen in, you know, we act like it's a long time, but it's such a short time that we've been doing this business, and you're just getting started. Your team's just getting started, and so proud. So I'm going to come back to you here in a second, and we're going to, you know, I'm going to give each of you a last word. So Mel, I'll be right back to you. And I'm going to go back to Liz, who was on fire, and then her internet went out and made us all sad. Are you there?
My internet always, like, I probably
there you are.
Every power hour it kicks me off. My team knows. I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'll get back on. Y'all just hang out. So.
Well, I'm going to be so mad because you were on a roll, and I don't remember exactly what we were talking about. So when I go to the replay, I'm going to be like, that's where we should have picked up. But this is what we'll do. I'm just going to turn it over to you. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. And I want you to just talk to this team as if it was your team. Some are going for promotions, you know, some actually, maybe they feel like they can't promote, you know, some of them, they're just getting started. Like, all that you've learned all the way to Triple Diamond, like, what would you just tell them if you know, if they're your team? Like, what, you know, you've experienced great success. This past month was your best month that you've ever had in your, you know, your history with this company. And so what would you just tell them, Liz?
First of all, when you're looking at your charts and stuff, and if you think there's no way or it's out of reach, nothing is out of reach. You guys, if you put your mind to it and know exactly how many distributors you need, exactly how much volume you need, let me just tell y'all something. February 28th, when I went double, I was looking at my triple chart. I didn't have a third leg anymore. My whole third leg had to quit. I called Melanie and I was like, do I keep building off of this one or do I start a new one? And she's like, start new. And my anxiety was like, okay. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me, like, I always heard about the jump from double to triple taking forever. And I didn't want to be stuck at a rank again for another 8 months, 10 months. Y'all, I rebuilt an entire leg for my Triple Diamond in 3 months time. So no matter how many distributors you need, if it's 20, if it's 22, 24, I don't care if it's 30, put that in front of you and look at it and say, this is what I need, and then get to work. Like, you can sit there and cry over your charts and be upset about it, but that does nothing. It's going to take you putting in the work and getting to work. Don't sit back and ever let other people think like, oh, okay, I need 5,000 volume. Well, this person's working, so she'll bring in that. And this person's working and she'll bring in that. I don't care. Like, the whole month, that entire volume that I needed was what I needed overall. When my team was bringing in volume, that's all great. But my whole in my mind, the whole month was, I need to bring in this much a day. And that was the total. And that's why at the end of the month, that's why we won, promoted early, and then blew it out of the water at the end of the month, because there was never me sitting there and waiting on other people to put in the work, because as a leader, you should be leading from the front every single day. Like, I try to sign customers every single day. I try to sign distributors all the time. Like, I always want to lead them and show them that if I can do it, so can they. The other thing, you guys, is like, just what this business can do for you. Like, don't ever quit. Like, people will ask what the secret is, and it's just that I didn't quit. Like, I didn't give up when it got hard. I didn't give up when people quit or on me. I didn't give up when I had slow months. Like, I always showed up, because, like, my future in this, I don't ever want to go back to where I came from. Like, and me having nothing. Y'all, when the week before I joined this business, I remember crying at the lake because I lost $20, and it was my last $20, and I didn't know how I was going to make it to the month. Now I'm able to give to our church every month more than our rent is. Like, we made 5 figures last month, and I can't imagine what it's going to be this month. You guys, don't give up on yourself and your dreams, because no matter how, I just put a post up, like, no matter how long it's taking, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you're putting in the work, it's going to happen, and it's God's timing. On the 25th of the month, when I ran my charts and my volume went backwards because like I had declines and stuff, it literally doubled from what I thought it was going to be. I remember panicking to Melanie. I was like, I just did my charts and I'm panicking. I got on my knees in this office and prayed, because I gave it to God. I said, if this happens, it's you. Like, I'm going to keep putting in the work, but I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to I got down on myself for 5 minutes, and then I got back to work, and we promoted early. So there's nothing out of reach for you guys. Just believe in yourself, and all the glory goes to God, because none of this in my life would have been possible without him.
Yeah, that's so good, Liz. We're so proud of you and just your growth. And I can't wait to see, just your team continue to grow and lives continue to change. And I'm expecting a message on the 8th, and I'll probably cry with you. So it's always it's so life-changing. And thank you for sharing your heart with our team. And just absolutely, absolutely incredible. I love you, girl. And thanks for being on with us tonight. Julie, absolutely. Julie, I'm going to come over to you, and same thing. There you are. Talk to us. We're your team, and there's people who are hovering right now. There's people who are going hard for the promotion. What would you just tell them going into? I mean, we're only 4 days in. We have so much time. We have bonuses on the line. We don't know if they're going to be extended, but just share your heart with our team.
Yeah. Liz, you're making me cry. Trying to hold it together. So I guess I'll say, a little bit to the people who are going for the promotions, and a little bit too. So I feel like I have a lot of newbies on here too, a lot of my new teams on here. So a little bit to both, but I think, if you're new, I remember, John, you saying to me when I was new, I was a Ruby. I had been a Ruby for a long time. And you told me you always said, Julie, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be diamond in no time. And you're going to be diamond if you keep doing what you're doing. And it's just so simple, but I think I thought I had to do more. I was working full time. I was like, I can't do more. I can only do what I can do. And you just told me, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be diamond. And I just believed you. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I got there. And so I just want everyone to know, consistency, the core 4 every day. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to reach your goal. So be patient. And like Liz said, it's God's timing. It's not our timing. But just remember, those core things, your leaders tell you that for a reason, and you can trust them, and that those things are going to get you to your goal. And I think for the longest time, I just thought I didn't have what it takes or something. But it was really just the consistency of doing what I'm doing and not expecting those immediate results. But just consistency over time will get you there. And then another thing, probably just being successful in this business. Everyone's, what's the secret? What's the secret? And I heard the other day, it's not this. Being successful is not about a skill set, it's about your mindset. So the skills will come if you're able to control your mindset. If you're able to take those days where you're maybe having a bad day or whatever is going on, and you're able to flip that switch, you're able to, maybe have a bad day for an hour or a couple minutes, flip that switch and get back to work. And so I think it's about, one thing I've learned in this business is just not giving up, the power of controlling my mindset, doing self-development every day, and not giving up. And that is going to get you to where you're going. And also just one book, if you guys are going for promotions that I love, and we all talk about it all the time, but is the 10X rule. So if you are going for a promotion, whatever you're doing, 10X that, 10 extra action. The only way to get out of a slow season is massive action. So I hear that a lot. Man, it's a slow season right now, or man, nobody's responding to me, or it's just a slow month. The only way you're ever going to get out of that is by massive action. You're only going to ensure you stay in that slow season if you just continue to, kind of wallow in it and make excuses for it. But I think 10xing that action. When I feel like no one is talking to me, that means I'm sending out 10 times more messages. I'm sending out 50 more messages because I'm like, I'm going to make somebody talk to me today. Or, you know, and that's how I get out of those ruts, you know, so I only stay in them for like maybe a day and then it's right back up. So that's another thing I would say. Don't, you know, ignore what people say about the seasons. Seasons aren't real. There's something we've made up in your mind. This business doesn't have to have down seasons and up seasons, you know, like in the sales world, like you control that by the amount of people you're talking to. So you have control over that. So yeah, I think that's it.
And that's awesome. Julie, thanks so much for being on tonight. Just congratulations one more time. Triple diamond on our way to Prez, and just such great insight and knowledge, and doesn't shock me between these three that are on here. I'm getting my mind blown right now, and thanks for being on. Congratulations, Julie. Love you, girl. You're amazing. And we will go back. There you go. I think you're unmuted. Yeah. I'm going to ask you the same thing. We're your team. We, some of us were getting started. Some of us were not where we want to be. Some of us were going for the next one. What would you tell us if, I mean, we are your team, but if we were your babies this month, what would you speak into us?
Okay. So like I said, I'm very hard on my team, but it's tough love, and they'll tell you it comes all from the heart. Number one thing, get your head out of your butt. Number two, no distractions, guys. When I went triple, that's what I laid down on my team. Why are you watching TV? If you're exhausted for 1 month and you're counting on that bonus to change your life, or if you don't even get a bonus, if they don't come back next month, if you are counting on that pay to change your life, guys, do the work. Like, there's no time for TV. There's no time to go to the bar and drink, or, you know, I'm not saying don't go on vacation. I'm on vacation right now. School's out. I'm working. I signed 3 loyals, big loyals. I'm working. Don't stop working. Like, I love what they said. Don't stop. Keep going. If you're not getting messages, you need to message more people. And you know what's really, like, I love this. Every day we push host to post on our team, and we're doubling it, tripling it, whatever. We do a contest for our whole team. And guess what, guys? You don't know this, but I had you post in our team contest in comments on my group page. I'm looking who's hosting a post, who has 5 entries, who has like 100 names entered that hosted a post for you. Guys, when I started, we didn't have this. Like, I didn't have an upline that said, here, go send this message. Like, we literally started, we created our scripts. I have stuff coming up on Time Hop, and I'm like, oh my God, I posted that? Like, that looks stupid. I have people messaging me ready to join the business, and I'm like, I would have never joined if you said that to me 3 years ago. Like, guys, it's in Diamond Empire. It's in, like, eSuite, the answer. It's in bootcamp pages. Find the answers. Do the work. Like, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's there. It's laid out. Do the work. Like, simple.
No, that's so good. I mean, you're so right in so many different ways that I always tell Sherry that that it works is not complicated work, but it's hard work. And you have to choose what you want it to be. Like my corporate job, that's complicated work, but it's not that hard work. This is a simple business. You sign loyals, you sign distributors, you put people first, and the paycheck follows. Like, that's the simplicity of this business, and there is no secret sauce. That's it. Like, you've heard it from all three, that's what it is. And so, Mel, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, Presidential Diamond. Congratulations to your team, and your hearts are just so right. You work hard every day, and we're just getting started. So it's really exciting. And so with that said, I want to thank all three of you ladies for being on tonight. Honestly, I don't get to do these like super often, but I'm always so pumped when I get to do them, because I leave pumped up and inspired as anyone else. And you know, Diamond Empire, if you're on here, I just want you to know that, I was praying this morning, and I really feel like the Lord is just confirming thing after thing after thing with this team, is that, we just got back from Austin, and it was so awesome to see our own on the stage. It was so awesome to see, Stacy up there and Sherry up there. It was so awesome to see, even Christy Vines, was up there on stage. It was just a start of what I think the Lord has shown me for years, is that as cool as all these other teams are, God is giving this team favor, and he's putting us in the right place at the right time. And in another year or two, I just believe our team is going to just kind of take over at Works, and no one's going to ever see it coming. And I really believe that. And it's not because for any other reason than I really believe that our team's hearts are right, and we're putting people first, and we're holding hands, and we're walking through life together. And I just want to tell you that, I said it to, I think, the Diamonds last night, that so many of us, we see the opportunity, but we fail to seize the opportunity. And I really believe that this month, there's some of you that I won't call. I'm looking at the names on here, but this is your month to seize the opportunity. Some of you came out of the gate strong. Amazing things were happening, but you've gotten into your own head. And I think that tonight, after hearing these three amazing, amazing leaders, you need to get out of your own head. You need to release your business to the Lord, and you need to do what you can do on a daily basis. If you aren't getting the results that you want, I love it. 10x it, 5x it, whatever you can do. Let's get back to work. Let's do it. Let's go. Because here's the thing. God wants to use us in a way that we can't even think or imagine. It's so much bigger. It's so much higher. His ways are higher. His thoughts are higher, but he just needs people who are going to do their part. And for whatever reason, the Lord's given us this very vehicle, this It Works vehicle, to be the vehicle that we take to change people's lives. And I want to encourage you, if you are new and this is your first Zoom with the team, understand that you're on a team that cares about you, that wants you to succeed. You're not just a box. You're not just BV. You're not just a number. You're family now. And we want our family to grow together. We want our family to accomplish dreams and goals and vision. And we believe that we're given every tool that we can to you to be successful. And we're seeing it time after time after time. And so see the opportunity, but more importantly, seize the opportunity. Make the most of your day. Be intentional in your business every day. Understand that me, Sherry, our family, our girls, even tonight, they're praying for you. They're praying for your business. They're believing that whatever those goals are, whatever those dreams are, it's going to happen if you will consistently just stay faithful and consistently do your part. And, I left Austin more inspired than ever. Yes, hearing from other leaders, but every time I leave an event, and I'm trying not to be arrogant about this, I just look at the team the Lord has placed, has assembled together, and I'm just like, man, this company has no idea what's about to happen in the next couple of years. They have no idea that they just have an influx of world changers that literally they won't even know that we're all a part of the same team. They're just going to know there's something different about Julie, and there's something different about Liz, and there's something different about Carly and Tracy and Stacy, and they're going to have no clue that the reason we have the same heart is because we're aligned and we're unified and we're ready to go, and it's going to happen. And, I'm not right all the time, but I knew halfway through last year that this was going to be the year for multiple ambassadors, multiple presidentials, multiples in the top 100. And we're just seeing it happen. And he's just confirming it day after day after day. And the thing is all 144 who are still listening to us talk, because I've gone about 6 minutes too long, that if you will do it day in and day out, the Lord wants to use you. He doesn't need the most talented. He doesn't need the most qualified. He doesn't need the one who looks the part or acts the part or who speaks really well. He just needs the one that has something in their hand that he can use and who will be faithful day in and day out. And the three people that you heard tonight, that's what they've done. They've said, I've got it in my hand, and I'm just going to be consistent, and I'm just going to be faithful. And look what the Lord is doing. Triple, presidential, continue to move on. Diamonds underneath them, emeralds underneath them, rubies underneath them that are all moving on up. And that's the beauty of this business, that you can't go alone. You have to bring people with you. Leaders who go alone, they're not leaders. They're just taking a walk. And we have leaders who aren't just taking a walk. They're holding hands. They're linking arms. And that's what we want to see day in and day out. And so know that, me and Sherry, we love you guys with all of our hearts. We pray day in and day out for more than just you being successful in this business, but that your family would be blessed, that you would be healthy, that you would be strong, and most importantly, that you would grow into the leader that the Lord has called you to be. And if you do that, that's what really matters, because lives are going to be changed. And so we love you guys. Y'all are phenomenal. We're 4 days in. Let's get to work. Let's rock this thing, and let's just see what the Lord does come the end of this month. And so I'm so proud of not just these 3 promotions, but all the promotions that you saw us post on the Diamond Empire page. Like, if you haven't looked at all those names, and I think it's 116 names or something like that, go tag your team, go give them some love. Every promotion matters, because with every promotion, it just means more lives are being changed. So we love you. You'll have an awesome, awesome night, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Julie. Absolutely amazing. And I will get the recording up either tonight or tomorrow. I promise I will do that. So y'all have a good night. Love you guys.